We're back here in the West End Zone in the football offices of Oklahoma State with the absolute newest member of the coaching staff, Jason Ray, a graduate of Missouri, most recently from the University of Wyoming, where he was coaching receivers, and a graduate of Broken Arrow High School. And Coach, welcome to Stillwater and OSU. How's your first month, or I should say a couple of weeks on the job?
Yeah, it's been a couple of weeks, and it's been great. People have been great. I've had a warm welcome, and I'm looking forward to getting started with football.
Your relocation back to Oklahoma really doesn't involve a lot of reintroducing yourself to people, because you never really stopped recruiting the state of Oklahoma. Would that be correct?
That's right. I recruited Oklahoma for 4 years, the 4 seasons that I was there at Wyoming. So I'm pretty acquainted with all the coaches. I've got a lot of pretty good relationships with a lot of them, and look forward to developing more relationships with the different coaches. So we recruited the state pretty hard when I was there, and being a hometown guy, as far as being from the great state, is fairly easy for me to navigate and get around, but by no means have I perfected it. But I'm looking forward to continue building relationships with the high school coaches here.
And I guess on the recruiting side of it, obviously you can't talk about specific recruits for next year, but you probably have an idea already of sophomore class, junior class, guys will be coming up through the ranks in the 2014 class. Right,
and that's kind of a testament to how well the high school coaches do as far as getting us names and lists. They do a great job, with their responsibilities from not only just coaching, but the recruiting aspect of being a high school coach. They're putting their kids out there, and they do a pretty good job with getting us prospect lists and things like that. So that transition is going to be pretty smooth, I think. So I have a pretty good foothold on some of the kids, the younger kids that are coming up. But even without, those coaches are right there emailing. They get those lists to us pretty good, and I'm looking forward to continuing to work with those guys.
Do you have a certain comfort level with being back in the Big 12?
I haven't necessarily thought about being back in the Big 12. I know there's been some shuffling around with the conferences and things like that, but I think being in this region, that the Big 12 region, I was recruiting against the Big 12 a lot, when I was in Wyoming, and losing a few of those battles, but so that part of it's a good comfort zone for me, as far as being back in this region and recruiting the caliber athletes that it takes to come up here and play in Stillwater at Oklahoma State. So it does feel good to be back in this territory, in this region, which is a lot of the Big 12 country, to a certain degree.
When you arrive at a new school in the middle of recruiting, how hard is it to get to know the kids that you will actually be coaching who are already on campus?
That's probably one of the most difficult things. Now there's a whole new group of faces that I'm not accustomed to. I've met a lot of the guys already, a lot of the receivers. I've called them, started to text them, and they're really reciprocative. They've come in, they've met with me in the office. A few guys have come through. I see them in the dining hall. So they're around this building. They're coming in here, and I see guys walking around and watching tape. So the want to get good and become a better football player is definitely there. Seeing some guys walk around, they got their backpacks with them, they're going to class, they're coming in and watching tape. So that, for me as a coach, and being the new guy, seeing the enthusiasm of the players that want to get good and become better players has been awesome. Seeing guys in and out of the office trying to watch tape and things like that. So getting the names down is going to be the biggest challenge, I think, for the most part. And outside of obviously learning the system and how Coach Gundy wants to operate, but I'm looking forward to it. So far, it's been a great experience, and learning those guys and getting acquainted with all those players, I think, so they can kind of know my style. I can get a feed off of them. It's going to be very rewarding as time goes on.
Coach, thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome to Stillwater.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.